You still had a reserve card going into the next turn,
Correct.
so that means player 1 automatically gets the initiative going into the subsequent turn. He cashes in that reserve, draws 2 new reserves, as do I. I also draw another spell card. Spell cards are not discarded. They are held from turn to turn and phase to phase until discarded and played. And go ahead.
Alright, so Eric escaped with his Crusader unscathed. Not a huge problem. We have to basically figure out who we're going to go ahead and attack now. So Eric, as a rules clarification, does the Vanguard get his defensive bonus against even another Vanguard when they're adjacent, or is that the exception to the rule? Because I've forgotten.
Another attacking Vanguard could ignore the +3 defensive bonus.
Okay. So, I think what we're going to do here is we're going to gang up on Eric's Archer and take advantage of the fact that he's a little bit split at the moment. We got 2 characters over here and 3 over here. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Eric, this gate is open if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct.
Alright, so that means my Crusader can actually move into that space, and I'll show you why I'm doing that in just a moment. So I will move 1, 2, and then 3 to the gate, and then he will take his attack against the Archer. And I am going to score an attack +2.
Oh.
This deals quite a bit of damage. So I've essentially done 4 points of damage, which is the Crusader's base attack value of 2.
Minus the Archer's near defensive value, which is 0, so that's 4.
4 points of damage to Eric's Archer.
The Archer has 3 strength condition boxes that will eliminate the Archer. There's really nothing I can play that will save him. So the Archer is eliminated. Player 1 automatically draws a free reserve for eliminating that opponent.
Alright. Okay, so that was one of my characters. With my Vanguard, I'm going to go ahead and step onto this collect, and I spend my feat to absorb it, or gain it.
You can spend a feat, and then if you draw a success off the event deck, you automatically get it. You'll get it, or you can spend a reserve card of your choice and pick it up automatically and not burn the feat.
Right. Okay. So I think that I am going to. I kind of like the idea of going first in the next round, so I'm going to go ahead and spend an event card and hopefully hit, but I don't. I miss. So my Vanguard does not actually take advantage of that at this time. So I've got a couple other characters here. Let's see what we can do. Eric's Darkstone Mercenary and then the Crusader. I'm going to drop my Archer back 2 slots, and then I'm going to fire it as Darkstone Mercenary since I have line of sight. And before I draw my event deck, I'll ask him if he wants to play a reserve card.
And since you have 3 reserve cards, I have 2, and since you have a tendency to hold those reserves in order to gain initiative in subsequent phases, I'm going to burn my reserve cards right now.
Sure.
So I will play Instinctive Guard, which will get me a +1 defense on the assumption that you do hit with an attack against Darkstone Mercenary.
Okay. And I do hit, doing damage of 1 against Eric's far defense, which is now 2.
Outright correct, so it's a wash.
So I don't actually do any damage. I'm going to try, with my conscript, to move around and strike at Eric's Crusader. I've moved 2 spaces, which means he has successfully charged, which increases his attack value by 1 for this particular attack. So again, before I draw my event card, I will ask him if he wants to do anything differently, or use his last.
No.
Okay. So I'm going to draw my event, and I get an attack +1, which nets me a total of 3 points of damage.
Correct.
Compared to Eric's near defense of 1.
So that's a total of 2 points of damage?
Two damage tokens, yep. And my conscript is now done. My Vanguard I'm going to leave here in the forest. Actually, no, I take that back. I'm not going to leave the Vanguard in the forest. I'm actually going to move the Vanguard.
Oh.
1. I have a decision to make here. Hold on just a second, Eric. 2 near 0. I can't play my dexterous dodge in order to move into a forest.
Unless you're a Vanguard.
Unless I am a Vanguard. Okay, so basically I'm just trying to find a way to make this work so that I can avoid any retaliation attacks from either Eric's Crusader or his Darkstone Mercenary. Essentially what I'm doing is moving 1, 2. Now the Vanguard normally has a movement of 3, which means I could pop myself into either one of these two forests. However, doing so would mean I'm leaving this place, and thus prompting a retaliation from his Darkstone Mercenary. So in order to avoid that, I'm going to use my Dexterous Dodge, which allows me to just pop into either one of these terrains without suffering a retaliation from Eric.
You need to play that before you attack.
Before I attack.
You're going to execute the attack.
Yep. So and now I'm going to take advantage of his infiltration abilities, and I'm going to strike at his other one, Disciple.
Oh.
And I'm going to do, it looks like 1 point of damage. I got just a successful attack, which means his attack value of 1 is compared to the other one, Disciple's defense of
1.
Oh, it is 1?
Yep.
Oh, you changed it.
I did.
Ah. Well then, la-di-da. I unfortunately didn't do any damage. And so I've now moved everyone except for this conscript. We'll move this conscript to here, just to provide a little bit of defensive structure. Actually, yeah, just to provide some defensive structure for my archer, and I am done with my primary phase.
Okay. Having a Vanguard in the forest is usually a bad thing, because I am going to basically be fighting against a character with a defense of 3, which means I'd have to do a lot of damage in order to hit that character. So my option is to either leave the Vanguard and continue to be attacked by him, or find a way to remove the Vanguard from the forest. There's a couple ways you can do this. The other one, Disciple, has spells that they can either burn the forest down, including the character in it, or in this case, a different card. I'm going to play a spell against your Vanguard. Is there any reserves you want to play?
Just a moment, I'm reading. Nope, go ahead and do your worst.
I'm going to Quake the Vanguard, which causes a character-occupied space, forces that character to immediately move to an adjacent unoccupied space of your choosing. That didn't really do too much. It just puts you into here. However, I'm assuming you're probably jumping into the forest.
Yeah, I'll jump into the forest.
However, it does mean that I get a retaliation attack from both these characters against him.
Yep.
And she's also getting the Crusader's bonus because she's adjacent to him.
Yep.
So I'll resolve the Darkstone Mercenary's attack first. Any reserves you want to play?
Nope, go ahead.
Darkstone Mercenary misses, however, has the battle option According to Fate, which allows me to look at your currently held reserve cards. And you have Instinctive Guard and Sudden Reversal. Okay, thank you. And the other one, Disciple, goes to attack. And she hits with an attack value of 2 against the defensive value of 3 from the Vanguard that was originally in that forest. So there's no damage to the Vanguard. So basically I've managed to do nothing other than burn a spell. But then again, I'm not the best tactical player here. Crusader will continue to try to attack the Vanguard. I think getting rid of the Vanguard is the best thing for me to do right now. And we'll miss with a vanilla miss. Darkstone Mercenary will move 1 to here to basically lock the Vanguard into position and attempt to attack. I'll also burn Surge of Strength on that attack. Okay, so there we go. So we have an attack +1, which means I'm doing 2. I ignore 1 point of your defense, which brings your defense down to 2, and I do an additional point of damage.
Right.
So I do 1 point of damage to the Vanguard. Unless my math is
Nope, that's right.
Not great, but it's a start. My Vanguard... I need to get my Vanguard over there to take out your Vanguard. And I will do that by moving 1, 2, 3, actually 1, 2. I'll move to here.
So Eric's going to gallop through the trees, which is what a Vanguard is best at. And that will complete your primary phase, right?
Correct.